Hello, today is May 23rd, 2024. We're going to talk about algebra. In particularly, we're going to talk about quadratic function. The standard form of the quadratic function is the following. Y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Notice the English, they are all English letters, right? But for mathematicians, when they use this, they use it carefully. Typically, the A, B are called coefficient. And then again, English letter C, that's called the constant. Typically, the English letter X and the English letter Y are called variables. So X is independent variable in this specific case. Y is called dependent variable. Okay? So now when you look at this function again, even though they are English letters, but some of the letters are reserved for variables like X and Y, and another ABC are reserved for constants or for coefficients, so on and so forth. Okay, so now let's look at a specific case. Back to this form called standard form. This is a standard form of quadratic function. So when A equal to 1, B equal to 0, and C equal to 0. What does that mean? That means y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c can be rewritten as a is 1 times x squared, b is 0 plus 0 times x, c is 0, so plus 0. So that would be x squared. Right? So in other words, I want you to draw the graph of y equal to x squared. How do we draw that? So we can put a table x, y. Let's say if x equal to 0, then y equal to x squared equal to 0 squared equal to 0. When x equal to 1, then y equal to x squared equal to 1 squared equal to 1. When x equal to negative 1, then y equal to x squared equal to negative 1 squared equal to 1. When x equal to 2, then y equal to x squared equal to 2 squared equal to 4. When x equal to negative 2, then y equal to x squared equal to negative 2 squared equal to 4. So if we draw the graph x, o, y, let's say x equal to 0, y equal to 0, that's that point. X equal to 1, y equal to 1. So it's that point. X equal to negative 1, y equal to 1. X equal to negative 1, y equal to 1. So it's that point. X equal to 2, y equal to 4. X equal to 2, y equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So roughly it's from here. When x equal to negative 2, then equal to positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a point over there. And then we can connect those points. That will give us the graph of the quadratic function. Typically, we put an arrow on both sides. Means if we want to extend it, you can extend it forever. So notice the opening is facing up, and then typically we call this face up. Okay. Now what if we change this to y equal to negative square? Then if we build up another table, xy table, then if we pick up the same x value, right, 0, 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, how do we calculate the y value? The y value is very simple, right? Because x squared always gives us the positive values, and then negative of that is going to be all the negative values. So all we need to do, we just add a negative sign in front of this. Because negative 0 equals 0, that's that. And then that's what be negative 1, and then negative 4, negative 4. Once we know this, if we draw the graph, again, x, o, y, we will have 0, 0, which is that point, x equal to 1, y equal to negative 1. So it's that point. When x equal to negative 1, y equal to negative 1. Negative 1, negative 1. So that point, when x equal to 2, y equal to negative 4. x2, y equal to negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's this point. When x equal to negative 2, y equal to negative 4. So it's that point. If we connect everything, we will get the graph. Don't forget the two arrows. Okay. So now we complete the graph of y equal to x squared, which is face up, and then y equal to negative x squared. That's called face down. Okay. In other words, if we look at the standard form of the quadratic equation, if A, which is the coefficient of the x power of 2, then if A is greater than 0, it's always facing up, whether we have those terms or not, or how complex those terms are. Because this part is the dominant factor to decide whether it's face up, facing down. Similarly, if A is less than 0, then no matter how complicated the function is, it's always going to face down. You probably don't get it at this time, but once we talk about the vertex form of the quadratic equation, it will make much more sense. For instance, let's do a quick check. If I give you y equal to 2x squared subtract 1000x plus 5000. Even though this looks complicated, but I know it's always facing up. On the other hand, if I give you another function, negative 3x squared plus 5, I don't even have the x term, then this is going to be face down. Okay, so today I want to stop right here, and then we will continue talking about quadratic equation. Just a couple more lectures for that, because we want you to understand the vertex term, but we will, as what we just demonstrated, we started with something simple, and then hopefully you can get the fundamental build up, And then once you fully understand those simple example, so during the test, when you're facing the relatively complicated problem, you should be still able to do it. Again, welcome for those students who actually support me to subscribe it. And then that really helps me to continue, the lesson. In the meantime, feel free to drop your questions in the comments area, so that way I can improve, and then I can also talking about the area that you guys had trouble with. With that being said, thank you again. See you guys next time. Bye.